Welcome back to Ricksaw, where we like to turn ideas into sawdust and solutions. In this episode, we're going to look at the Little Buddy heater and the Mr. Heater forced air propane heater. These are two of the heaters that I use to heat my small workshop. Before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and start up this Little Buddy heater so I can go ahead and take my coat off so it doesn't interfere with the mic. All right, let's go ahead and do that now. This Little Buddy heater is very simple to start. The starting process is detailed right where the switch is at, right here. So we have our off position, pilot, low and high. Okay, to start this up, we want to make sure our 1 pound propane tank is connected, and it is. We're going to go ahead and switch it to the off, from the off position to the pilot position. And in order to take it off of off, I pushed down slightly and rotated it to pilot. Now, to get it off of pilot and onto low, I'm going to push down to start the pilot. I can hear propane running. I'm going to click it again, and there's a piezo igniter that ignites the pilot light, as you can see. I'm then going to rotate to the low setting. Once it's on low, you're going to see the propane go into the radiant heater, and it is starting to come up to temperature. All right. While that's coming up to temperature, I want to tell you a little bit about this small propane heater. First thing, I can take off my coat out now. It's starting to get warm out in the garage. All right, what I love about this Little Buddy heater is it is portable. It is able to take 1 pound propane tanks, or it can handle a 20 pound propane tank with a special adapter. A few interesting features about this Little Buddy heater is it has a auto off feature when it's tipped over, and we'll demonstrate that right now. So as you can see, it is on low. I'm going to go ahead and tip the heater, and once it's tipped, it is immediately shut off. Okay, there's no pilot and there is no propane going to the element. In order to turn it back on, I'm going to switch it back to off, turn to pilot, push down, light the pilot, and go to low. Now it's back on. Really great safety feature. Now, this Little Buddy heater is indoor safe, okay? So it's intended to be used indoors or wherever you need to. There is a downside to the Little Buddy heater. What's that, you say? Well, the downside is that it's not powerful enough to heat my small workshop. So I have to consider alternative heaters like the 60,000 BTU forced air propane heater by Mr. Heater. Okay, both of these are actually by Mr. Heater, and I've shared links below in case you're interested. Let's go ahead and take this one up to high. So I'm on low, I'm going to push down, and I'm going to move it to high. You can see the color has intensified a lot more, and it's glowing a bright orange. All right, and it looks like that's coming across on camera pretty well. Great for quick warmth, but not so great for heating up the entire workshop. All right, once again, that is the Portable Buddy by Mr. Heater. And the benefit of this is I can take it around wherever I need to because it's not connected to anything. It's not connected to a 20 pound propane tank. It's not connected to electricity. It doesn't require a fan. It's an infrared heater. There's an infrared heating element. And one thing I've noticed is they make little fans that can connect on top that can help move the air around. I don't have one of those, but it's an interesting feature that you can add here. All right, so really great for a small workshop when you need something just localized and to warm yourself up a little bit. Now let's take a look at the Mr. Heater 60,000 BTU forced air propane heater and why I like to use that for certain applications. Next up, we have the Mr. Heater 60,000 BTU forced air propane heater. This propane heater is something I use in the workshop to bring my shop up to temperature very quickly. It's a beast of a heater and can really get the job done, but there are some disadvantages. Before we get into those, let's go into the pros. The pros are it has adjustable from low to high all the way up to a max 60,000 BTU. So if I don't need the full force, I can set it on low and just take the edge off. Or I can crank it up to high and really get things cooking in here. Second thing, there are some safety features built in, all right? Well, before you get this started, you do need to connect it to electricity, okay? And that's really important. The electricity is going to start the fan and make it run continuous. The second thing it's going to do is start the igniter. That igniter will always be igniting when it's plugged into electricity and the fan is on. Those are safety features because when the propane is connected, you want the igniter to work and the fan to work. You don't want to be able to turn those off. So it will always run the fan and always run the igniter. That's really good. Second thing is, there's a propane hookup, and this is for 20-pound tanks or larger. The next thing is off position. It starts in the off position, the fan and the igniter will run. Next thing you need to do, push it in, turn it to low. That will start the flow of propane and get the flame going. Once it's on low, you can have unlimited access to low BTUs and high. High is going to be your 60,000 BTU. Couple disadvantages to this. It's not portable at all, and it needs to be connected to a large propane tank and connected to electricity. So you're basically restricted to wherever you set it up. It's going to be difficult to move around. All right. It does have a carrying handle, so there are. It is quite a long hose that comes with the kit, about 6 feet, I'd say. You can move it around slightly, but it's not going to be as portable as the little buddy heater. But for heating your workshop up in a quick manner and getting things up to temperature so you can work comfortably, this is the heater you're going to use. Now I want to share with you 3 tips to help keep your workshop warm in the cold weather. Tip number 1, make sure that your walls and ceiling are insulated. That is going to help keep the warmth that you're creating from either heater in your workshop. The second thing is seal off any drafts. Leaky windows, leaky doors, make sure that those drafts are sealed. One thing to think about with the forced air heater is you're going to need to have a window open or a door open or your garage door cracked a little in order to operate that, okay? Please read your instructions. This is not an instruction manual to use that heater, okay? You are going to need fresh air with that propane heater. Tip number 3, make sure you have a fan running. Okay, in a lot of our workshops, we're going to have some dust collection. We're going to have fans, maybe a filter fan. You've seen it on the channel before, but I also have some ceiling fans. Circulating that air is going to make sure that you don't have any hot spots, and it's going to make sure that you're heating efficiently. Heating your workshop means you can work in any weather and stay warm and make it enjoyable. So, speaking of working, I need to get back to work so I can build more projects and share more videos with you. Thanks for watching Ricksaw. If you comment below on how you heat your workshop, that will give everyone some ideas. I appreciate you watching and see you soon.